Hi guys, my name's Irene TTYA and welcome to PLT Behind Closed Doors Season 6. I'll be taking over the podcast for the 4-part special series for Black History Month. The theme for October is being super strong, and this month I'll be speaking to guests who will be discussing their personal experiences as a Black woman and learning how to be strong in the face of prejudice and adversity. So guys, every week we need to be focused, and this week's no different. Today I'm joined by the amazing, incredible and inspiring Leslie Sidora, a French and Mauritian model. Since 2017, Leslie has made a name for herself in the curve and plus size industry, making her first appearance in Forbes and Glamour. Featuring in the massive body positive campaign for PrettyLittleThing since 2018. Leslie even has her own collection, which we're going to talk about. We're going to get into it in a little bit. Leslie's been on PLT Behind Closed Doors once before. So if you haven't listened to it before, make sure you go back and listen because, guys, she's dropping some gems there. So we need to get into it. So without further ado, I'd love to welcome the incredible Leslie Sidora. Welcome to PLT Behind Closed Doors Season 6. How are you?
Hi, Erin. Thank you so much for having me. I'm doing well. How are you?
You look fabulous. I see
Thank
that you're wearing
you.
your new collection.
I
Give it to
am.
them. Show
I
them.
wish I could show you. Hold on. I'm wearing some jeans today. All
Is
white look.
it?
A little crop top
You look
too.
great.
Thank
So with every
you.
episode, we always tell each guest to kind of take us back to the beginning. Tell us a little bit about where you grew up, your heritage, and how you kind of took your first steps into your career today.
Okay, so I am French born and raised. Born and raised. I've been in France for most of my life. My dad is from Mauritius, the little island by Madagascar, on like the east coast of Africa, for people who might not know where it is. And my mom is French. I've been raised in the suburbs in France, pretty quiet type of life. And I started modeling 3 years ago, back in the US in New York. And since then, I've been lucky to be working with a few really, really nice brands and to be here with you guys.
That's so inspiring. So I want to kind of get into it because, before we kind of delve into Black History Month and what that means and how that empowers you and your spirit, I want to kind of start with your collection for PLT because it looks incredible. I must say so myself. And, I'm actually a tall woman, so I am very much always champion women who kind of step outside the box because I feel like, in the fashion industry, the words inclusivity and diversity have almost become buzzwords, so it's always nice to not only see like a curved woman, but to see a woman of color at the forefront of a campaign. Tell us a little bit about, how you and PLT linked up, the inspiration behind your collections, and maybe tell us a little bit about some of your favorite pieces.
Okay. So PLT reached out. I'm not going to lie, this has been in the back of my head, and I was secretly hoping that they will reach out at some point. Like, hey, Leslie. So they reached out to me a few months ago, and I said, yes, of course. I would love to represent and be able to create some amazing pieces for girls like me. And as far as the inspiration, I think I wanted to find and create something that was a little bit different than the usual, something where plus size girls, or every girl, because it comes in main range as well, every girl could have fun, can mix and match, can be smart about outfits, and maybe get a pair of jeans and then you get a bodysuit, but you can use the bodysuit with a skirt or a pants, just some really nice fun pieces. And as far as the colors and just the shape in general, the mood board that I send them is I want colors that will actually complement a skin tone. So I told them, I said, listen, I want to see some earth tones. I want to see some nice blushy, minty green colors, stuff that will make us look even more beautiful than we already are. So that was I think that was the inspiration, and I wanted to empower people, feel sexy, and I think we did a good job. I hope. We'll see.
No, I think you've done an amazing job. And even like seeing some of the models, like how heavily involved were you in kind of curating it to make sure that it was something of your own? Because, you know, when I look at your campaign, representation in fashion is so important. And I think you have an amazing array of Black, beautiful women in your campaign. So how heavily influenced were you, and why was it so important to make sure that those narratives were included in your campaign?
To be honest with you, I don't think I would have had it any other way. And I actually don't think that I would have accepted if I was not going to have it my way with the inclusion that I wanted. I already knew the girls that I wanted. When they came in, I was like, oh my God, I know who I want to have. Like, she's amazing. She's a queen, and Steph too. So I was just like, I know who I want. And it was really important for me that everybody feels included and not just a certain type or certain shape, just everybody. Because, you know, I know that we know that PLT is pretty big on everybody. So yeah, I think it was really important. And it's something that I don't think I would have budged about. It was this or nothing.
So you mentioned on your last episode that you still struggle with feeling like you're not good enough. I like to call it like imposter syndrome. How have you kind of built yourself up to kind of overcome this, and especially with anxiety and low confidence? Because I feel like with Instagram, it almost shows your highlights a lot of the time. So how do you make sure that, you know, you're looking after your mental health as well within that to support your kind of front of house experience?
I actually make sure that I get off Instagram. I make sure that
that's a big tip.
Don't get me wrong. I still wake up and check my phone, which I shouldn't be doing. But I try to make sure that I don't spend as much time as I used to, and try to remember that, you know, everything happens in their own time and its own time. And if it's going to happen for me, it's going to happen when I am ready. I think the collection actually happened at the right moment. I think I had the shoulders to be able to, you know, voice my opinion and feel confident enough to speak for myself and speak for like other girls and be like, hey, that's what we want. That's what we need as plus size. So I feel like it's the same for Instagram. You know, I try to not, you know, put it in the back. Just, it's important. It's a very important tool as far as model. And if you want to, you know, build your brand, it's one of the major tool. But I'm trying to stay away from it sometimes. And if I feel like it's a bit too overbearing, I'm just like, okay, Leslie, what are you doing here? Like, I'm checking myself in and be like, oh, okay. How about you just put this down and maybe start taking some notes? Like, I have a textbook. And when I feel like it's a little bit too much, I'm like, just writing it down, and it kind of helps sometimes. So yeah, just put Instagram down. Especially now, they changed the algorithm. It's not even fun anymore. So yeah, put it down.
I know the algorithm kind of sucks, to be honest. I feel like it's hindering us a lot. But I think something that kind of really comes across in your Instagram and your posts is like you're always kind of spreading positivity and body positivity at that. I feel like on Instagram it's become a little bit more acceptable now, and it's more established to kind of show who you are. But that's taken years for it to kind of get to that point now of what we define as beauty, especially on Instagram. What do you feel like needs to be done kind of for more to raise an awareness for body positivity online and in the fashion industry as a whole?
As far as Instagram, you know, I'm big on being honest, and I know that there's a lot of people that are watching us on platforms and stuff. I just feel like we have to keep it real with the people that follow us. If it's about surgery, if it's about, you know, having good and bad days, I get that it's not easy to share, and like, you don't want to overshare, myself first. But I feel like, you know, you just have to keep it 100 and as much as you can. And if you're not ready for that, maybe just not share it. So, you know, you don't like fake advertise anything. As far as the industry, well, I mean, it's getting there. I don't know if you saw the Fashion Week in Italy with a famous designer. I don't know if we're allowed to say names. Versace. But yeah, so they finally, it's good. It makes me happy to see it. You know, I just hope that it's not going to be a phase and we're going to keep going towards that. And it's not just going to be, oh, you know, we want to make you happy, guys, and we're going to give you a little bit, and like next season we'll just, you know, slow down about it. So
Revert back
it's
to
good.
norm. Yeah.
Exactly. That's the only thing I'm a little bit afraid of, but I'm so happy to see those queens like just walking. I'm like, yes, it's about time. So I feel like we're getting there. It's just like everything. Some brands I feel like have been pushed because it's like, oh, we need more diversity and we need this and we need that. So we still need to feel like it's genuine. As far as for me, I need to feel like you're genuine about it and you're not just doing it because people and like the pressure of the social is like pushing you to have more diversity. But it's coming there. I've seen a cover for some girls, and no, it's coming there. It's a good change. It's about time.
Yeah, I agree with you. To see the representation on the runway, I think it's so important now, because I remember when we were growing up, it was basically Fashion Week was unrelatable to us. We didn't see women of color. We didn't see different shapes and sizes. We just literally saw tall, skinny white women, and that was the representation of beauty, even in ad campaigns and, even on the runway. So I think it's really important that to show and to celebrate now that the times have moved forward and a time for change. I just want to touch a little bit now, because you've talked about Instagram just a little bit. You obviously clearly have a really huge platform on Instagram and it continues to grow. What do you love about your Instagram community and the network that you've built, and how has it kind of helped your career? And maybe what advice would you maybe give to any up and coming models who are thinking about, using that space to be able to project what is important to them?
Instagram is where I started, to be honest with you. That's where my first brand contacted me to post on Instagram. That's how my first agent found me. That's how I got scouted. I actually think that's how PLT found me too. I'm not really sure. We'll have to check that. But that's how it started for a lot of things. So I think that it's a platform that you have to take really seriously, even though, you still have to put some barriers and make sure that you're staying safe. But for upcoming models, I will say take it seriously, because brands, as far as I know and what I see on set, the inspiration comes from Instagram. Unfortunately, like I do think that they still look at books, portfolios and stuff for sure. But I think that Instagram is a big, big part. And I think that it should be taken more seriously for some girls and just use it as a platform of showing your creativity, showing what you stand for, and just, create some more art and just make it about your personality more than just like, oh, I'm partying and I'm getting drunk and I'm showing this, because clients don't want to see that. And it's always nice. I always say, you don't have to get naked on Instagram. And I'm really big on that. It's always cute to have a nice, sexy picture, and it gives you like that validation because you want to have the likes and everything. I get that. Don't get me wrong, I do it too sometimes. It happens. It's like, oh, let me just check if I still get it. I get that. But I feel like there's a fine line between too much and not enough. And clients are really looking up. Like I was on set last time and the mood board was basically pictures of other girls and me of like, okay, so this is what we want. And this is what we want was pictures from Instagram. So, take it very seriously as long as it stays safe and not too toxic for you. But it's definitely one of an amazing platform that has to be, manageable and managed pretty well.
Yeah, agreed. I think it definitely has to be utilized in the right way. So I think just to recap that, people should use their Instagram and see it as a business platform as well, and understand that clients are going to be watching your Instagram, are looking to see, whether or not you're going to fit right into their objective. So always think of Instagram as essentially as a marketing tool for yourself.
Exactly.
So I noticed on your Instagram. Exactly. So I noticed on your Instagram, on your on your BLM highlights, it's kind of full of like black models, black bodies, black women, black fashion photography, as opposed to kind of, the stereotypical quotes and, most things that people tend to share. What do you think is kind of like the right way to voice your opinion in regards to not just Black Lives Matter, but actually as a black woman, what did you want your messaging to be?
Well, I don't think that there's a right way to do it. Whatever sits with you best is, I think you should do. For me, it was using my platform as much as I could. I've been contacting a few brands to just, I'll say work with them, but basically, I contact them a few and be like, hey, I love what you do. Please send me some stuff and I would love to post them for you. And, as you said, Instagram is a marketing tool, a business tool, and I'm usually getting paid to post. So I just told them, I said, hey, listen, I won't charge you. Like, I really want to support you. So that was my way of being like, hey, like Black designer and Black fashion is also amazing and you guys should pay attention to it. So I feel like that's my part to it. Obviously, you have the petition and sharing and everything. But I feel like it's little step by little step, because it's all good and well to say, oh, yeah, this and that, we have to sign this. But what are we doing in the community? Like, how are we helping our own community from the inside, and not just like, it's all well and good to post like Black Square and everything, but are you really helping the community on the inside is what I'm more worried about. But again, whatever feels comfortable for you is the right thing to do. I wouldn't put anybody on blast and be like, oh, you didn't do that. Oh, you didn't repost the petition. You don't know what these people are doing at home. You don't know if they're helping someone that has a Black business. You don't know anything. So I wouldn't judge like that. But for me, it was just a way of like sharing. And I have this post on my Instagram and I still see people tagging other people and be like, hey, my friend has this cosmetic brand. My friend has this catering brand, catering business. So it's still good to, see people sharing and helping each other.
I love that. And I think, like you said, it goes back to like doing what's within your remit. I feel like you can't take on the world's problems on your shoulders as one person. It is about us supporting each other as a community and coming together as a community and seeing how we can uplift each other. It's not one person's job to speak for a whole culture, So I think that's definitely important. I think it's also really good for me as well to kind of even us connecting as well and like seeing like, ways in that we can even have this conversation and it shows some enlightenment. I think for our community, it's important for us to see, especially when we talk about inclusion and diversity, what that means. And I think like even identifying as a Black woman, what does that mean or what does that represent to you? I think it's important for us to share that and, understanding that there's different shades of Black and we're all accepting of that. We all love each other and we want to amplify each other's voices equally. It doesn't mean, one version of Black is more beautiful than a different version of Black. And I feel like even looking at your campaign, you've been able to reflect that across all spectrums, which I think is super important.
Thank you. It was so important to me. Thank you.
So what would your kind of dream shoot or dream campaign kind of look for you?
It looked like my campaign. Honestly, I'm not... I was lucky, and I'm so thankful for PLT. They let me have full creativity as far as the clothes, as far as the colors, as far as the location, the makeup artist, like the entire team for that shoot. So obviously, dreams grow, and as I'm growing, I'll probably have some other dream shoots. But this one was really, it was great. It was exactly like I imagined it. So I will say this one was a really good one, and I'm really proud of it. So yeah, that's one dream that I achieved, right? Achieved. Yeah.
I think one thing to come out of COVID is people are really thinking about legacy and what they kind of want to leave behind. How has the events of kind of 2020 shaped your mindset? And what would you kind of say your priority is at the moment?
Well, to be honest, COVID has been good to me. I'm not going to lie. I think I needed that major setback to feel like, to just like, just reset. I have this weird, I'm sure I'm not the only one, but I have this weird fear of missing out. So it was nice to feel like I can just sit back, sit home, even though I panicked for like the first 3 weeks, 1 month of like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do? Should I go back in Europe? Like, what am I doing? I'm going to die. No, I don't want it. So, but yeah, after that, and after that phase kind of passed, I realized it's like, oh, it's actually nice. I have times for like, just to be me and to think about myself and like how I want to, go forward and just, I'm not missing anything. I can pick up a book. Nobody is going to be drinking at the bar. Everybody is home. The world is on pause. So it was really nice to just have time for myself. And I think, it made actually some visual changes. I was eating better. and just more time to enjoy and just relax a little bit. So I think that's what I'm gonna keep for the rest of the year. I mean, I know we're still in a pandemic, but I feel like this is something I'm gonna keep and try to work on as much as I can. Is just keep the relax and cool, and yeah, just trying to find new motivation, even if we have to be home.
Yeah, I think for me, it's just to kind of conclude, I feel like it's so important for us to think about legacy and all of us to kind of have that master reset. So what's next to finish off? What's next? What can we expect to see from you? What's the next steps?
So next step, even though with COVID, I'm trying to, slow down and think really present and more than just like, oh my God, what's next? What's next? I'm just trying to be satisfied with what I already have. I'm thinking about a few ideas of maybe businesses and stuff, but I'm still working on my website. I've been having a website, but I needed to update it and, make sure that I'm able to create more pictures, more content. So I think that's what's coming next. More content, more creativity, more, beauty, and just a little bit more of diversification as far as for me and my brand.
Oh, I love that. That's such a lovely note to kind of end on. I feel like for those of you who haven't, go and shop Leslie's edit. It's amazing. And I think just kind of a powerful note for me, I think it's really important for us as Black women and, to see one, representation in fashion, and two, to understand that even when you don't, sometimes it's just as important to scream and shout about it, but also to create your own lane and understand that you might be too forward thinking. The world might not necessarily be ready to receive you, but as long as one, you believe in your idea, you believe in yourself, then you create your own lane. You're the bus conductor of your own life. People can jump on your bus and follow you. You don't necessarily always have to kind of follow others. So I think it's important that, as long as you believe in yourself, that's the most important thing. So if people are not following you, which they should be, and shame on you if you're not, tell the guys your social @ just so they can make sure that they're following you across all platforms.
Sure. So my @ is L'Essence. That's how you pronounce it. Just so you guys know, it's a French nickname and it's spelled Lessance. L'Essence.
Oh, that's amazing. Thanks, guys, for everybody who's been listening to the podcast. That's PLT Behind Closed Doors with Leslie Sidora. We out, guys. Thank you.